Coming to you live from the Mistopheles Studios, it's Dark Fringe Radio. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dark Fringe Radio, your number one spot for conspiracy theory, paranormal, and everything else in between that's weird and unusual. So thanks for joining us again on another episode of Dark Fringe Radio. Of course, can't do this without my co-host, as always, Jay Galosi. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hola. ¿Cómo está?
Episode 99. So, Jay, we're approaching 100 very quickly.
I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
You feel it in your bones? Yeah, listen.
We got this is numero 99.
Yep.
Next one's the big one, man.
Next one's the big one. I want to, this is a very big thing for us. I want to take the time here now on behalf of Jay and myself to let everyone know that we appreciate you guys for, sticking with us through all the podcasts. It's been almost 5 years now since we've been doing the podcast. So it's really great. Really couldn't have done it without Jay and all you guys. You guys are the reason that we keep going, and we really appreciate your support and your continued support throughout the years. And this podcast is only going to get better with time. Yeah. So again, we really appreciate you guys sticking with us. So really, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. So past that, of course, Jay, tonight we have a very interesting subject. We're going to be talking about strange disappearances in state parks. But before we get into all that, I wanted to kind of touch on the social media. You can reach all of our social media, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Dark Fringe Radio. And then how you can listen to the podcast, Jay, real simple. You can go straight to our website, darkfringeradio.com, right there to our website. And you can actually watch the episode right there at the bottom. There's a nice little link, or you can go up to the top and stream many of the streaming sites at the top. And you can go there and actually listen to the whole catalog of all of our podcasts, Jay. 98, 99 now episodes.
But what we never say?
What's that, Jay?
Or maybe you do say it and I'm I'm compromised and I forget.
Uh-oh.
When we talk about our YouTube channel, do you tell them to both like and subscribe?
Now, listen, that's so important, Jay. Thank you for bringing that up. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, listen, our YouTube channel is starting to take off. More and more you guys are really, wising up to the YouTube channel and actually doing what Jay has just actually been asking you guys to do, which is like and subscribe our channel. So make sure you do that. I'll go to Dark Fringe Radio. All our episodes are there. Most of our recent episodes, I should say, are there. We actually just started doing video not too long ago. So we wanted to bring an extra element to the podcast for you guys. So we started doing that. So yes, as Jay said, please check out our YouTube at Dark Fringe Radio, like and subscribe. So thank you, Jay, for that. I really appreciate that. So again, Jay, tonight wanted to kind of talk about a couple different topics that, we were kind of hitting on right before the podcast started. We were talking about some recent events. And of course, today, Biz Markie passed away, one of hip hop icons of the last 30, 40 years now. Yeah. And kind of sad to see a lot of these guys go away, to the wayside,
Well, I do. Unfortunately, the more I'm starting to kind of look at things, this is where we're at, my man. We're
getting towards that age where there's certain people start passing away, the people we looked up to. So it's kind of weird, So I get what you're saying.
It was the weirdest thing when I found out he passed away. It was you still think of him in his early 20s in that video when he was walking around the college singing about this girl that's just a friend,
right?
Even though she was banging some other dude. Don't trust no bitches, I think was kind of the line. Paraphrase maybe.
Close.
Come on, man! It's an iconic song.
Listen.
When you think of 80s hip hop, it's certainly one of the first ones that pops in your head.
Of course,
because it was so.
It was an iconic song. It's like Baby Got Back. One of those songs from that time. You know what I mean? It's just,
oh my God.
It'll never escape that era, and it transcends that era. You know what I mean? It's still to this day. So rest in peace, Biz Marquis. So really sad to hear that. But yeah, listen, we've had a lot of rash of these famous people that pass away lately too. It seems to be just like, it comes in waves. But another thing that happened to a very famous person was Bill Cosby. He got out of jail, bro. Did you see that?
I did.
How the fuck did that guy get out of jail, Jay?
I don't know. My guess would be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Added in with a lot more money. And then
supposedly the new judge supposedly the new judge on the case said that the original case was unconstitutional. So it because of such reasons, the conviction was overturned and Mr. Cosby was let free. And he's now roaming the streets of whatever.
So I saw that too.
Yeah. What's your take on that, Jay?
And what bullshit? It's a loophole. His lawyers found a loophole. But this is why there needs to be checks and balances for just about everything.
Yeah.
Because is a loophole? Sure. Would Cosby had been acquitted? Possibly. But does he belong to be free and around other humans?
I don't know about that.
Certainly not ones with vaginas.
Definitely not.
I mean, the man is the Jeffrey Dahmer of serial raping.
Yeah. And it was so damning that his wife of so many years didn't even visit him in jail one time. So, it's pretty bad when your wife of so many years doesn't come to visit you in jail. That kind of says something about you. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Yeah, it says something about your character, really.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it says a lot about you.
So it's a disgrace. It's a show that our
justice system is a little wacky sometimes.
Broken. Is broken. We don't have enough duct tape to fix it.
No Flex Seal. Not enough Flex Seal, huh?
No, not enough tie wire to put it together.
Nothing. No. Okay.
No, we're fine.
Yeah, I get you. Well, Jay, I just wanted to kind of bring up those couple subjects that were just like, what the fuck happened there? But let's get into our What the F Florida Man for this week, Jay. And for those that don't know, and we'll just re-educate you right now, Jay scours the internet for hours and hours on end to find the local Florida man headlines. And listen, here in this state of Florida, there's never a shortage of Florida man headlines here. So
it's like Khan says in Star Trek 2, yes, I'm a nerd. He tasks me, and I will have him. I think it's actually I shall have him. All right, so maybe I'm not that huge a nerd.
Well,
I've seen that movie a bajillion freaking times. So we can.
All right, Jay. So what do you have for us this week for What the F Florida Man?
Will, I'm glad you asked that for the first time. Florida man tries to throw live gator.
It's
a fucking Tuesday here, guys.
Yeah, listen.
Florida man tries to throw live gator onto building's roof.
Oh, wow.
Daytona Beach.
Of course.
Because where else is it going to happen? Yeah. But it gets better, William.
Let's hear it.
Daytona Beach, Florida. Police officers were called to find a man, quote unquote, teaching it a lesson.
Teaching the gator a lesson?
Yep.
Okay.
As he tried to throw the live gator that he had stolen from a miniature golf course.
Wait till that gator teaches him a lesson and bites him in one of the huevos.
Yeah, that's where you just skim the top. You don't want to get too deep. Anyway,
so he steals
the gator from the golf course.
Gotcha.
Tries to throw it. It gets better.
Okay.
On the roof of a cocktail lounge.
Oh, wonderful.
To teach the alligator a lesson.
Okay.
Apparently, the man thought that the alligator had taken his things. So
what do you mean? Like robbed him?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, it is Daytona.
So the guy thinks that the alligator robbed him. So he throws him up on the roof of a building
drags it by its tail.
Gotcha.
Picks it up, and then yes, there was some throwing and other things that are not very pleasant. But just think of it on the whole as the funny shit. Okay? Guy's playing mini golf like he's Happy fucking Gilmore, sees an alligator, thinks it stole, or maybe his mentor's hand.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting somewhere now, Will.
We're getting somewhere. We're cooking.
Drags it and tries to throw it on the roof.
Let me ask you this, Jay. What drug do you think was that pushed this guy over the edge? What do you think it was? Because this was definitely drug induced. This is no way, shape, or form.
I would have to go with inbreeding.
Well, that'll do you, right? Good old inbreeding.
Is it wrong because I didn't put it in the form of a question? What is inbreeding?
No, it's fine, Jay. Actually, you do get points for that.
I never get points for shit. That's awesome.
Wow. So I'm sure the police subsequently arrested this.
Oh yeah, no, he's in jail.
He's in jail.
He couldn't post bail. Doesn't have a lawyer. That happened on a Tuesday. As of Friday, he was still.
So he's probably just going to sit out a sentence in jail, probably. To his whatever's community really say. Yeah. That's an interesting story. Wow, Jay. So he thought the alligator actually stole the stuff. Yep. Again, I mean,
that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is the fact that it was a gator on a miniature golf. Like the gator lives on the miniature golf course. It's like,
which is kind of dangerous if you really think about it.
No shit.
Yeah.
So only in Florida will you have a gator.
Yep.
On a miniature golf course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if it is in some kind of an enclosure,
still, it's a danger to everybody in that enclosure. It needs a food source. So what do you think it's going to eat? You know what I mean? What were they feeding this gator? I mean, it had to be eating something to sustain itself in there too. You know what I'm saying?
He was eating the fish. All the golf balls that accidentally got in his mouth, and all the hands of the people who tried to get it out of his mouth, thinking that he was just like a rock,
or a fake gator. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Missing hand later. Well, Jay, thanks for that story for What the F, Florida Man. Not surprised coming out of Daytona Beach. A lot of crazy shit comes out of that particular city there. There's a little mixture of a lot of weirdness there. But Jay, thanks so much.
I went to Daytona for my honeymoon. Well, first honeymoon.
Really? You went there for your honeymoon?
Only honeymoon, but yeah.
Really?
Daytona. We were there for a whole 24 hours.
24 hours? Why only 24 hours?
Because we realized it was fucking Daytona, and after 24 hours, we did everything. It wasn't NASCAR season. There was no reason to be there.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
They have a great car museum. Yeah, they had a great car museum. So we ended up changing things and using it to do this cool, like we went and spent time at St. Augustine and actually had a paranormal
ghost tour
on that one. Yeah.
One of those little ghost tours in St. Augustine.
Yeah, I actually saw a ghost.
Oh, look at you. See? Fucking Jay. Just when I don't think you have it in you sometimes.
No, the problem is I have it in me.
Yeah. Okay? I just gotta get it out.
The problem is I know I have it in me, and you keep wanting to drag me out to places that are just gonna agitate that shit.
But Jay, it's safe, bro. You'll be all right. It's not like you're going alone. You're gonna be there with
folks, friends, neighbors, listeners, and apparently thousands of Australians.
Oh, let's talk about that. By the way, Jay. By the way, I posted. Let's do a little pause of the podcast here and just go off topic for a second. We're done with What the F, Florida Man, so it doesn't matter at this point.
Listen, this is when we riff is when we are best, my friend.
Yes, and episode 99. Listen, so I posted. I actually texted Jay first off, and I said, Jay, good morning. I said, by the way, there's some interesting information that I found out, and then I sent him this text, and I'm like, we are so international. I think in 7 days, the span of the filter for the analytic was 7 days. And I think we were listened to in 12 different countries in 7 days.
It's crazy.
And I mean, listen, thank you guys so much for doing that. I mean, thank you to listeners from the Ukraine, Spain, Morocco, Russia, Australia. We're huge in Australia. And Perth for some reason. Thank you for everyone from Perth.
I think I actually figured that one out.
Yeah, Jay, please give your good explanation to why do you think that's a good concentration for us there in Australia.
So there's a level of parallel. There's some empathy for a commonality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever people talk about countries, Australia is a place that people talk about not going because everything there tries to kill you.
Absolutely. A lot of different crazy animals there.
Even the wee adorable duck-billed platypus. William, did you know that duck-billed platypus is actually one of the most poisonous animals on the planet?
Yes. Yeah. They look cute.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
And
where do fucking things look cute as fuck, and then they'll fucking poison you,
They will kill you. They will kill you fast.
Quick.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Australia. So only one other place on the planet has everything trying to kill you. Literally.
Florida.
No lie. Mosquito the other night in my garage. I hit it. It popped 3 times and flew away.
And then when you finally do kill it, it looks like a crime scene of all blood, right? Just all over the place.
I'm still not sure where the hell it is. I'm pretty sure it's stalking me.
It's waiting you in the corner like Debo.
100%.
Oh.
100%.
The Jackie.
Where else would you get shit like that? Australia.
Florida. Yeah, Australia.
Florida.
It's a great parallel, Jay. I think when you said that,
aside from Miami,
Miami's its own animal.
Belongs to Cuba. The rest of Florida belongs in Australia.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's just be real.
So yes, thank you again, listeners from Australia, Perth especially. We love you guys, and we appreciate your support. That's fucking awesome. We love you guys. So thank you again. But yeah, listen, that's a wrap for the intro. We're going to get into our main subject here in a second. We're going to be talking about state parks and the strange disappearances that happen in these areas. So we're going to get into that here in a second. So please do not go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
Dark Fringe Radio, your premier source for the paranormal, conspiracy theory, and true crime.
Thanks, guys, for joining us on another episode of Dark Fringe Radio. Welcome you guys back to Dark Fringe Radio. Jay, tonight we're going to be talking about a really interesting subject that I kind of posed to you some time ago. And, I actually was reading it was a preface for a book by David Paulides, and it was a book regarding really mysterious cases of people that go missing in state parks. And listen, this summertime we're in the middle of summertime right now, right? It's the middle of July.
Aren't we though?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the time where everybody goes hiking, camping. You do cookouts and shit like that, and this is the time of year that everybody usually does that. And
cookouts, I don't get the hiking thing, but yeah. People go.
I get the hiking thing. I love going hiking. I do for some reason. I don't know. I just do. I like it. It's just so fucking hot here in Florida. That's the only problem. You know what I mean? Like if you live like North Carolina, I'd be hiking all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's so fucking hot here. Nonetheless, this is the time of year where, all these type of activities start happening. Right. And we get out, this is the time of year where we're not locked in our houses, especially now, with COVID is kind of past us, hopefully behind us. State parks are one of the, key places that a lot of families in the U.S. go to and travel to go either see, whether it be the redwoods in California, go to Yosemite to go see the springs, stuff like that,
Grand Canyon's pretty banging.
Grand Canyon stuff, exactly.
All right, you got me.
Yeah, listen, I mean, all these great stuff, the Appalachian Trail, another example, the Pacific Northwest, another example, So, you have all these places where American families can go to, but there's a little bit of a problem. There's been a little bit of an epidemic that kind of has gotten under the radar here, Jay. And the epidemic is that there's an unusual amount of people that go missing in state parks, Jay. And it's not like saying, okay, a person goes in the woods, they pitched a tent, they got attacked by a bear, they got bitten alive, and they got eaten by a bear, they died. Right? Very plausible.
It happens, I assume.
It happens. It's got to happen, right?
I assume.
By bears, by coyotes, by bigger game like that can actually attack a human and kill a human. Mountain lions and another thing.
Panthers.
Yeah, exactly. So
we got that problem down here.
Right. So these are animals that are out there, gators, that can obviously pose a threat to human life.
Listen, after that Florida man story, Gators need help.
But yeah.
Continue.
But the problem is with that, Jay, is that when you have a person that perishes that way, there's always a crime scene. There's going to be blood. There's going to be clothes. There's going to be plenty of evidence of such that would happen. Because first off, if it's a mountain lion, they're not going to eat all of you. They're going to drag you first. They're going to kill you first and then drag you somewhere, because that's what they do. And then they're going to find your body with maybe, half your stomach eaten out, because that's what they eat. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be there's going to be some type of scene where there's going to be blood splatter and stuff like that. And some of these cases, Jay, there's none of this. I mean, these people are literally vanishing without a trace. Yeah. I mean, to the point where there's no scent for bloodhounds to even pick up on. And the more stranger of this here, Jay, is that there's cases where say, for instance, children of maybe even like 2 to 3 year olds are found 6 to 7 miles away from where they were originally. So in less than 24-hour period. So we're going to get into some of the cases here tonight. I'm going to talk about some of the older cases, some of the cases where, these individuals perished under very suspicious and, unusual circumstances. Also going to talk about some of the cases where the person did not perish, actually were found alive, but still under very unusual circumstances. So, Jay, I want to get into the first one here tonight. And this was actually out of John's book that he wrote. And this individual child did not have a name, Jay. So they just kind of filed it under a John Doe. Okay. But one of the most baffling, strange disappearances in national parks happened to this young boy, this John Doe. And according to this interview that George Knapp did on one of his shows, George Knapp is a paranormal investigator. He does coast to coast. I mean, he's been around for a long time. But this John Doe was gone, just vanish without a trace, Jay, a 2-year-old boy. And then he was found 5 hours later, 7 miles away, without a scratch on him, unharmed. He was a little dazed, but unharmed. And nobody can kind of figure out what the hell happened here, Jay.
So William.
Yes.
William, because I know you're leading up to something. I'm going to try to help you here.
Yeah.
What could have been? Oh, tell me what.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
No.
All
William,
I have
is supposed to be feral people, right? So you're supposed to then respond with,
listen,
Jay, there's a possibility. There's a theory. It could be feral people.
That's one of them. That is one of them, Jay. Yes. That is one of many, many different theories as to why these children end up missing and then end up reappearing 7 miles away, unharmed, maybe dazed, but 7 miles away in less than 14-hour or 5-hour, 4-hour period. Doesn't make sense. Something's not adding up there. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be weird monkey people. Gotta be.
So yes, Jay, there is one theory out there that there is a lot of feral people that are out there living off the land. And especially in the Pacific Northwest, where you do see a lot of cluster of these disappearances that do happen. So you see a lot of it happening in the Pacific Northwest, and we all know how dense that forest is and how easily you could probably, hide a small population of people out there, right? Don't you think it's possible?
That there's
let's dive into it. Let's see what the possibilities are for something like this.
So we're just let's dissect a little.
Right.
So we're saying, and I believe there are all kinds of crazy shit that happens, but there's certain things. I'm just gonna say, right?
Right.
Well, I'm suddenly sounding like an idiot.
Commence to start.
That there's a chance that there's a population
of
feral people
who
are living amongst land. And I mean, I would think there are people that live off the grid.
Yes.
It was like mountain men, axemen,
Right.
Those shows you see on History Channel, but nobody watches.
I watch them. I'm a dork. I know.
Yeah. I was quoting Star Trek. You're safe.
The Alaskan bush hunters of the North, man. That's a great show.
Those are fucking men, by the way.
Yeah, listen.
Fucking men.
They can do a lot more than I can do out there. I can tell you that.
Yes. Yes, those are men. We are lads, sir.
Yeah, we are.
So, but you're telling me that out there in this wilderness, there are these feral people.
Right.
And of course, this is why we're diving in, friends, that abduct children.
Not just children, just people in general. But yeah, children.
So they abduct people.
Yes.
To
do what?
I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. Kind of same thing. If they were feral, we're talking more animalistic.
Well, let me preface everything what I'm saying here first by this. 75% of these people, or almost 80% of these people, are never found again. Not even dead bodies. Not even traces of their body anywhere.
So people who go missing.
This is a classic case of somebody that actually popped back up after, which is less than 5 hours or 4 hours of looking, 7 miles later, which is crazy. But yeah, the majority of these cases, these people are never found again without a trace. Okay,
so and my point, it's hard to prove how many of those haystacks have needles. Right?
Or how many bushes have men in them?
There you go.
Waiting to kill you.
A feral in the hand is worth
here we go.
Two in the bush, I guess. I don't want any ferals in the bush, thanks. But seriously, okay, so if they're feral people, we're talking they're a little bit more animalistic. We're talking maybe a more missing link type kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do we really think if they are feral and they're taking all these missing people, some of these missing people are missing for a multitude of reasons that all might not coincide to be the same thing. And do you really think a feral person is going to take a child, take it 5 miles and be like, you know what? I'm not that hungry. Yeah. I was going to have a snack, but it's almost summer season. So get out of here, little scamp. I don't think so. So if there's no evidence, if there's few tracks, if it's one of those things where it just vanishes, I think there's a little more forethought. I would lean a little more towards maybe a vagrant or someone living off the land due to economic strife might just be an asshole.
Could be. There have been reports of these national forest park rangers being attacked by these individuals, Jay, as well. Basically like what you said, living off the land, basically having clothes of there have been accounts. I found them online. These fucking guys are getting attacked by these guys.
Hit me with a little bit, dog. Come on, give me something to debate with you. Come on.
Okay, listen. Let me find the case. But I want to tell you about one case in particular here, Jay. This is probably one of the most, famous cases of strange disappearances in national parks. It happened in 1969 to a kid named Dennis Martin. And he was a 6-year-old. He was vacationing with his family in the middle of the Great Smoky Mountains, a really popular spot called Spence Field. All right. And while his parents were talking to another adult, Dennis and his brother and some kids decided to, play a funny prank on the adults by hiding and then popping out when, the adults came looking for them to, scare them. So 3 of the boys went one way and Dennis went another way. And Dennis vanished just like that. That was the last time anybody ever saw of him. 6 miles from Spence Field, a young boy screamed and claimed that he saw what first looked like a bear that looked like a large man with something slung over his shoulder. So again, that kind of leads into the feral people kind of, theory again. A frantic search party almost immediately happened, but no trace of Dennis was ever found. The search party lasted until night, until torrential rain washed away most of the scent. So not even the dogs, Jay, could get anything, the bloodhounds, to find the missing child. So within the subsequent days, the actual FBI got involved, and the Green Berets, the police, and just about every other form of official, aid was dispatched to find this kid.
The Boy Scouts.
I mean, listen, they got everybody out there. No footprints or articles of clothing belonging to him ever showed up. The most bizarre part of this whole thing, though, Jay, was that the case, the government reaction to it. For instance, the leader of the FBI group who organized the search committed suicide for some unknown reasons. So, again, that kind of leads into what's going on here. Another Special Forces member by the name of Harold Cleveland later issued a statement in 2014, which he says something paranormal must have been afoot. And this is what his letter was stating here. This is verbatim. Our special forces are never called to assist in a civilian operation. That falls to the local National Guard and approved by the state governor. The fact that they were armed as well is another huge no-no, which is very interesting. During my command and every other mission, I was aware of we were not allowed by federal protocol to do either. Something was very wrong with this missing kid scenario. I've done some research on the case, both while on active duty and after my retirement. The inside facts of this case depict a frightening investigation. Bottom line, that searching started within the few minutes of the boy's disappearance. So, Jay, listen, within few minutes of him disappearing, they're already looking for him. It lasted 3 months with every resource imaginable by being deployed. So it didn't even start with the terrain was difficult, the holes and caves and cliffs and creeks, etc. I mean, this place was just a place you just can't get around really easy, He goes on to say, Jay, our special troops can find almost anything, anytime, and in any terrain. We have the highest technology available worldwide and easily the best training and real-world wartime and mission-specific experience that normal civilian populace can scarcely imagine. After studying this case, the fact that no trace, and I repeat this, no trace of the boy, nothing, was ever found is mind-boggling. The Green Berets that were asked to task the search were there for a specific reason. They were armed for a specific reason. I cannot and won't say why, because my oath documents will not allow it, but I will remind you of these facts. Nationwide, there have been only 4 occasions where special forces were brought in on a civilian missing persons case. Two of these involved a possible armed preparator, and the other 2 were similar cases that were reasonably nearby. So, in other words, this was something potentially different. This was something that the government knew more about, Jay. This is what he's leading on to. He would have more information on something like this. He was an inside guy. And, this case is really strange, Jay. I mean, what's your take on that?
William. Okay. Jesus, man. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
So.
Yeah.
Again, we're saying that feral people have taken a child in the Smoky Mountains, and it was so specific it can leave no trace. It has a cognitive ability to know how to abduct without leaving a trace, vanish, and run. Okay,
so then let's say that would exclude the feral people theory. Let's just say that. Okay. Let's put that to the side then.
I'm still not convinced that it's not just a bunch of asshole vagrants. Okay, so I'm just saying.
I'm just saying though. At the same time, no. What I'm saying is there's no trace of any footprints. Like if you would have vagrants there, you would see footprints of these people coming in and taking this kid out.
So, and we're also talking about 1969.
We have cases all the way up until recent. I mean, I have cases I could talk to you about to 2015 right now.
Hey, one case at a time.
Yeah, I got you.
One detail. Okay. I'm trying to let you down easy, my man.
Oh, here we go.
So we're talking it's 1969.
We'll book you a trip to Yosemite. How about that?
Let's go.
I'm gonna send you up there. I ain't going. You're going. I ain't going. Fuck
who's the
that.
vagina now, sir?
Fuck that. Listen, after the research that I did on this shit.
So, but again, what we're saying is that there's no possible way that it could have been a vagrant who has lived off the land for a while. Like, keep this in mind.
Yeah.
When we were in Afghanistan, we had trouble finding people hidden in broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
In Vietnam, we couldn't find the Vietnamese. They were all they were doing was wearing black and going through tunnels. Mm-hmm. So you can't tell me that we have the kind of technology and understanding that we can go out there, and if someone is living off that land and doing it where no one knows, that they're not going to know that area better than us, and they're not going to be able to do those kinds of things. I'm telling you, I believe, and again.
So you think it is feral people then? Is that what you're thinking?
I don't think feral people exist.
No?
No. I mean, I think there are people out there living on the land who are, again.
So you think it's crazy vagrants then?
I mean, crazy is probably a bit strong. I mean, well thought out for sure.
How about government organization kidnapping children?
See, that I would believe a lot more.
Would you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That I believe a lot more, which is why I have no problem going to Yosemite. I'm not a child. They're not going to take me. I'm not worth shit.
Well, a lot of adults go missing there too, Jay, and they go missing without a trace, man. Listen, people that are experts in these areas that have been hiking these areas for years go missing without a trace, Jay. I mean, we're not even. And then you know what the bizarre thing is, too, Jay? They find articles of clothing like 7 to 8 miles away from the original place, which is something that you would never do if you were a survivalist and you knew about trekking and getting around, because you would want to insulate your body as much as you possibly could, because at nighttime it's going to get cold.
Right.
So
100%. But you're also assuming that that person was in control of removing said items. My guess is if there's all items like that, there is some form of a struggle. And again, I would believe more military. I don't think a feral person is going to come out and attack someone, a full-grown adult, to try to drag them off to God knows what. Now you tell me government, and I say, well, that makes more sense.
How about Sasquatch?
Didn't we cover this?
We covered a Sasquatch investigator, but
I've said on the show,
and
I maintain, and I said to the guy, same thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't think Bigfoot exists.
Right.
My opinion.
Did you see that new picture of a supposed Bigfoot crossing over a river with his baby in his hand?
No, the only Bigfoot pictures are like the fucking monster truck. I did see a picture of the newest restoration of Bigfoot Jr., which was actually the Bigfoot that came after the original Bigfoot. But that's the only Bigfoot I pay attention to, because you know what, William? I can prove that thing exists. It goes vroom, vroom. 70s.
It goes vroom, vroom, right?
I mean,
yeah.
A little louder, Jay.
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're trying to figure out all the possibilities. Okay, so let's write off Sasquatch. That's a little bit too woo-woo, right? So far at the top of the list, we got government agencies that are abducting children, selling them on the black market. Who knows, right? Whatever they do to children in the black market. God only knows.
I mean, I have ideas, but.
So that's at the top of the list right now. Second on the list, we'll say vagrants. Third, feral people. All right, Jay, how about portals? How about people just like slipping into portals by accident, and then maybe slipping in through alternate, dimensions and slipping in and out of different areas? And that's why that explains why these kids will end up fucking 7 miles up the fucking road.
Now that I believe might have the most teeth. And I believe it has the most teeth because it's probably the hardest to prove.
Right. Yeah.
And I also think that this is, again, you're talking about people being taken and abducted.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that are really curious are the ones that show up completely unharmed miles away.
And that's exactly
the I would focus on. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and some of them are going to go missing. The ones you probably don't find again are probably vagrants or assholes.
Right.
Again.
Right. But yeah, no, it definitely lends into that theory. That theory definitely is strong because, like what you said, Jay, and a lot of these cases fall very close to suit. These children are unharmed, like almost to the point where they're like untouched. Like they look like they've been fine and they've been missing for like 3 days. Right. You would think they would be hungry and tired and this and that, and they're not.
No,
they look like they've been taken care of.
And that's the thing, right? Yeah. And that's the whole thing with that particular topic, that theory. We can theorize on it. We can talk about it. We can think about it because there's so many things about our universe that we don't know. Mm-hmm. There could be an entire fourth dimension around us as we speak that.
Oh, there is.
Watches us.
There is.
Like we could be like their TV show.
Right. Well, I don't know, Jay, did you see that video that I posted on our page? I think it was a couple of days ago. It was regarding the Montana vortex.
Yeah, the house where the people were like standing like that and shit, right?
Yeah. So, I did. Yeah, so you have this place in Montana by chance. If you guys haven't checked it out, do some research. Awesome. Montana Vortex, or you can go to our webpage, darkfringeradio.com. There's a video that we posted there, and it shows these individuals in this like cabin, and like they're just literally standing like in this type of like angle and not falling. Gravity does not work there for some reason.
Gravity doesn't work there.
Yeah, and it's really weird. Thing. So if that's possible in a place like that, why couldn't a vortex or a portal be possible, right?
And that's right. And that's the line I'm on.
Right.
Like, all right. Feral people. Bigfoot.
We're back to the pharaohs again.
Come on, yo. I'm just saying. You have portal, and I can understand there are people are gonna go, portals. You know, right. Also you're gonna cast a hazardous bad breathicus spell on me too. But in reality, again, there is just the tiniest of glimpses of possibility that there are things like that going on around us that we can't perceive because we're not on that high enough dimension level. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And
I think people fall into these vortexes and I think people fall into these vortexes and portals by accident. I think they just happen to be walking into something, thinking they're either going to hide somewhere or they're going somewhere, you know, that they think is the right way, and they end up slipping into these vortexes and portals, and maybe getting slipped into. We've all
been there after a bad night on a Friday. Am I
right? Hey, man, I hear you, but I mean, why not? I mean, again, it's certainly possible.
To me, that's the one that sounds most plausible. To try to explain again. Ooh, I'm gonna make 2 Star Trek. Oh, wow, that night, huh? Okay, so I believe I'm going to. I'm gonna probably butcher this because I'm not that smart and I'm a little stoned. I believe it said when you take out the impossible, whatever's left, however improbable, must be true.
That's true. Yeah, I get you. I hear what you're saying on that.
I think I got it right.
Yeah, you got it right. Yeah. It makes sense.
All right. There's not enough evidence to support a possibility of things like ferals or, you know, you what you would get from abductions, your normal abduction scenes.
Yeah, and listen, again, and that's why we're ranking. That's why we're ranking these things to figure out what's the most probable out of all these.
I'm with portals. I think portals is number one as far as we've gone thusly.
Yeah,
with a nice little sprinkling of smelly homeless people.
Another theory, Jay, is that it's the park rangers themselves. I'm just throwing these theories out there. I don't give a lot of weight to this particular theory because I think it would have been found out by now because just people by nature just fuck up. So I think it would have found. Yeah, I mean, listen,
we found the Rangers.
exactly. People just nature fuck up.
This is what we fucking do. Oh, we'd have gone away with it too if it wasn't for those darn conspiratorial
kids. Those damn dark fringers.
Fucking kidding me.
Oh, but so yeah, that's another theory, Jay. It's the park rangers themselves. Another popular.
I believe it was park rangers over
the feral people.
I wasn't gonna say it. I'm picking on it.
Another theory, Jay, because of the area of where all these things happen, and a lot of Native American people reside there. There's a legend of a lot of skinwalkers and people that are able to shapeshift into animals and creatures and do harm and things like that. Where do you think that ranks up there, Jay?
I think it's a possibility. I think that one kind of continues to go a little more hand in hand with the dimension theory. Right. Because if you have someone or if you have something that has reached that plane or that level, like who knows? Maybe that's what happens when you pass away. Maybe maybe you still roam Earth in some weird way and it's just a different dimension. Maybe. Or maybe as you've gone through X amount of lives or you've done X amount of things or your journey has led you X amount of ways, you get to such a plane that you don't really pass away. You kind of transform. Soul contracts. And you become something like that. And you have to be very, very special to do something like that. So, again, wow, I'm sounding super hippy dippy. But seriously, like if you have those portals and someone had the understanding, which you could assume something does, have the ability to manipulate, understand, and control something like that, why wouldn't those things be? Of course, someone could change shape and move from long distances where time seems to stop. That makes a lot more sense to me. Yeah. So yes, I would put that. I would say portals, possible shaman. Yeah. The crazy vagrants. Crazy vagrants. Yeah, you forgot about them. How about UFOs? Aliens, abductions. Maybe they're plucking these kids and people out and just dropping them places. That's where they're finding them, like 7-5 miles away. It could be that. The only thing with that is that's why they're all dazed and confused after they can't remember shit. The aliens were smoking them up. Well, the MIB shit, that little dude. Look into the picture. Men in Black. No, I got the reference. Oh, Jesus Christ. You realize 2 weeks we also talked about Men in Black because we're talking about Rip Torn. Bro, they're around. They're real. Oh, no, for sure. They're real. Sure. No, these motherfuckers are real. Yeah, no, I know. Big ups to the Men in Black. Seriously. To all the shadow governments listening to this, right? You guys keep doing what you're doing. I'm fine right here. Thank you. DOD, all those people. Thank you, guys. I don't know what that is. I'm okay with it. Oh, Lord. But okay, yeah, listen. I didn't get to finish the very first story about the John Doe that went missing. Oh, I apologize. No, it's not your fault. We got into a tangent about everything else and how, what the possibilities of this, could be happening. Yeah. The kid that was found unharmed, of course, 7 miles away from the spot. The investigators started actually talking to the boy and figuring out what was going on. Okay. They started asking questions, he said that he followed a woman that looked like his grandma to a mountain. This is what he said. Listen to this story. I'm with you. Done with you. Then he found himself in a room that had a bunch of motionless robots and weapons lying all over a dusty floor. Okay. Then the boy claimed that he noticed a strange glow coming from the old woman's head. And then the most puzzling thing of all here, Jay, she asked him to defecate on a piece of paper. And then the boy claimed she got agitated and aggressive when he refused to do so. And then the woman said that the boy was from outer space and that he was planted in his mother's womb. And then she told him to go wait in the trees until he was found. So, okay. So this kind of leads into one of the theories that I brought over to you, Jay, that was kind of dismissed, which is the UFO one. William, hold on. Check out this theory real quick. How about hit me because we're gonna get back to that story. How about aliens inseminating humans on Earth? Okay. And then finding same said humans that were put in these, women re-abducted in these places so they could do tests on them. William.
I mean,
William, you might you should wear your hat more because your tinfoil is showing, dog.
I'm bringing up all the possibilities, my friend.
So let's talk about that, right? Let's just talk about that.
That's loaded.
Let's just do that.
Yeah.
So let's start with the story.
Yes.
How old was the kid?
3 years old.
3.
Yep.
Do you know what my son William told me when he was 3 years old?
I get what you're saying, Jay. I
got 2 stories for you. No, you need to hear these stories, especially knowing my son. So, my boy, who is now 15 and 5'8", because fuck me.
Right. What's height?
Anywho, he's 3, and he comes up to me and says to me, "Daddy, do you remember that time you gave me that knife to cut off the head of that spider and kill it?" I would do no such thing, William. I mean, dislike for spiders I have. Knives for them is not how I do it. But getting back to that point, as I know there's going to be a little skip here. Just so you guys know, William just about died. It was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Who's good?
Oh, there's going to be a lot of outtakes in this one.
Oh, this is going to be great.
It's going to be a good one. So, I keep saying so. We're just going to keep picking this up.
Yeah, you're right, Jay. I get the story. Your son telling you that story, and I 3 years old. I get it. The imagination of a 3-year-old is highly.
It's hard to get. I mean, really, truly credible, because 3-year-olds are little drunk people. William,
they are.
I work with them.
Yeah, no, they are.
This is what I know best. Actually, this is kind of my wheelhouse. No, a 3-year-old getting abducted, to find a 3-year-old, be happy, be blessed. You're not going to get any information out of that 3-year-old that's really going to give you anything, because you have to lead them. Right. Was the guy big or was he small? Big. What's big to a child? Right.
Everything's big to a child.
Exactly.
Right.
So even if you get anything that might sound like it's a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
So chances of a UFO abducting a 3-year-old, abducting a woman, that's better. Excuse me.
Yeah. No, it's just a theory that was thrown out there because a lot of people.
I believe there are aliens. I don't believe that they have any give a fuck about what is up our asses. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think they have.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think if they were here, they would be here for some type of resource that we had.
Yeah.
Anything, you know what I mean? That they didn't have on their planet or wherever they came from. So,
I think they're here as it is.
Yeah, I'm sure they're among us. I mean, we've kind of come to that conclusion already. But if you guys want to do any more kind of research on this, I suggest you guys go to a website. It's called canammissing.com. So that's CANAMmissing.com. And right there, Jay, they have a bunch of cases. They talk about all the hot spots. There's actually a map on there that shows all the hot spots of, these weird disappearances that are happening that fall under certain criteria. So what I mean by that is this: if there's no animal attacks, there's no person with any type of mental illness, there's no person who's ever had any type of history of mental illness or any kind of suicidal history. I mean, they go through a plethora of different things that you have to go through to be, put on this list as far as missing, because they want to make sure they procure the most obviously oddest cases. You know what I mean? And we're talking about these cases where people, have been hiking these areas for years and years on end and end up going missing or end up, miles and miles from where they would originally were at or camping. So very, very unusual circumstances. So listen, I don't know what's going on in these state parks, Jay. I don't know. I mean, again,
I ain't worried.
Listen, I'm glad you're not worried, but doing this research, it kind of raises some questions a little bit for me, man. When it comes to these
ignorance is bliss, my guy.
I know it is. It's super bliss, bro.
That's why I'm super selective.
There you
okay. I prefer my reality the way I can absorb it.
Yeah.
So yeah. hey,
So
the shit I don't know is generally the shit I don't want to know.
yeah. And so for you guys out there that are planning a trip to one of these state parks, just keep an extra eye out. Yeah, just keep an extra eye out. Be a little bit more diligent. Yeah, Jay, again, you do that. There's cases out there, these people going missing with their loaded handguns. They have guns. I mean, there's no reason, for them to go missing. You know what I mean? Without a trace, again, like they just vanish out of the air. Again, listen, it's a great topic. I suggest you guys, do some more research on it. And I think that's a wrap for it this week for Dark Fringe Radio. But before we say goodnight, Jay, we have one segment before we say goodnight, which is what to watch. What do you have for us this week for what to watch, Jay?
This week for what to watch, William, unfortunately, I don't have anything that's super fantastic. It's eclectic. It's not niche. It's not educational. It is sheer, simple consumerism. Black Widow, man. Black Widow is fucking awesome.
Which one?
It's great. Black Widow.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Black Widow.
It was good, huh?
It was well worth the $30 from Disney Plus to sit in my couch, eat my popcorn, cuddle with my girl, and watch Black Widow whoop some ass. And this is a good movie. Cool background understory that you'll get from some of the other Avengers. The way they kind of tie it in is really neat. I thought it was fantastic.
Does it push along the MCU at all? Is there any kind of big revelations or anything like that kind of push things along?
I'm not telling you shit.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah. When you watch it, you can call me, and when you say thank you, I will tell you fuck off.
There you go. I got you. Okay.
Because trust me, it's worth it. It's not worth me giving too much.
I got you. Okay.
It was great. It was exactly what it was, better than I expected. I've had a fear that the next phase was going to kind of, after watching like WandaVision and the Hawk and the
Hawkeye
guy or whatever.
Yeah.
I was getting nervous. I'm good. We're good. It's good. We're good.
So did you see that tweet that Hugh Jackman put out about a week ago?
William, who is my favorite superhero?
Who is our favorite superhero? I know.
Okay. Which one of us has him tattooed on his motherfucking forearm?
Who introduced you to him?
For true.
Yes.
For true. No, yes. Folks, that is 100% true. Superman was my favorite because I was a complete snowflake. William introduced me to Wolverine, but
I'm like, check this shit out.
But let's be real. I'm 5'3".
Yeah.
And I have gotten my ass handed to me a lot in my life.
Yeah.
I'm just like Wolverine. People.
Yeah. There it is. Okay? There it is. Well, listen.
So, dude, did I see it?
Yeah. Awesome. You think it's coming back?
God, I fucking hope so.
Oh God, it would be so great if
the world's does, right? Listen.
I know.
So tell you a little story about a man named Jim. Not actually. When Blair and I started dating, William, I introduced her to all the Marvel movies. She loved them. They were great. She said, "What's next? I love the superhero stuff." I said, "Awesome. We're going to go back and watch X-Men because you need to learn more about Wolverine." And we watched the very first X-Men. And I was like,
introduction to Wolverine.
Huh?
It's a great introduction to Wolverine.
Yeah. Have you watched that X-Men since?
I know that movie I know the movie like the back of my hand.
Oh no. That's not what I said, Wayne. It's not what I said.
Have I watched it? No.
I know that movie like the back of my hand too. And I love that movie. And that's why I can sit there and watch it. But to people who aren't us, that movie did not hold up. And X-Men
not as much as you would think, right?
X2, there are some she couldn't get through. So we need a reboot of Wolverine because the whole Logan's my favorite. That's my favorite superhero movie. It's my favorite of the Marvel movies. My favorite of all of them. Yeah. Logan was the best.
It was the best.
I mean, the Deadpools were great.
It's a different kind of movie, though.
No.
It's a different kind of movie. Deadpool's a different kind of movie.
Wolverine,
yeah.
When he went to Japan,
that's a great one.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was hoping
like
they would tell that story of him going to Japan, because that was actually one of the best series of books.
I had that entire series.
Yeah.
I had that entire series.
Yeah.
I remember he's got the pantyhose over his head, and he said is the yellow and blue, but nobody thinks it's actually him because he has to use a sword instead of his claws, because he knows if he uses claws, he won't heal.
Right.
Crazy shit, people.
Yep.
Wow, we are nerds.
Great stuff, though. But hey, listen, let's see what happens. So, Black Widow, everybody check that out. Another one I want to kind of suggest that kind of falls into tonight's episode, in the Tall Grass. And this was a movie that was directed by Stephen King and his son. And it was written by both of them as well. And it's about parallel universes. It's about people getting lost in this cornfield and
the vortices.
Oh, bro. Yeah, they end up getting into like a circle. It's pretty interesting. Oh, bro, it's pretty interesting. It gets you. But yeah, check it out. It's called In the Tall Grass. It's on Netflix. So check it out. So that's it for tonight, Jay. Thank you guys for tuning in on another episode of Dark Fringe Radio. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you check out our social media at Dark Fringe Radio. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and also on Twitter. And of course, you can listen to our episodes on our website at darkfringeradio.com. So just make sure you go there and check out all our episodes. We really appreciate that. And of course, again, as Jay suggested earlier, check out our youtube.com, go to at Dark Fringe Radio, and you can see all our episodes there as well. So again, Jay, thanks so much for joining me on another episode of Dark Fringe Radio. We're going to have something special for you guys for episode 100. So that's right around the corner. We appreciate you guys very much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week for another episode of Dark Fringe Radio. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you for listening to Dark Fringe Radio, recorded in the Mephistopheles Studios. Any correspondence can be sent to thedarkfringe@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening.